Yes, participants able to hear. Okay, so in today's session, we will discuss about creation of double linked list. Since we have two programs using double linked list. One is about the cinema theater and another is using binary linked list. We have to use the binary number and compute its ones and twos complement. Also add binary numbers. So this is one of the programs we have to compute using doubly linked list. In the previous session, we have discussed about single linked list. Now in today's session, we will discuss about circular linked list and doubly linked list. So over here, we will first copy the data for circular linked list, and since the program is already there, we have created it. I'll just share in a minute. Now, as we have discussed in the morning session, we will see how it impacts to circular linked list and what changes we have to make in order to convert a single linked list into a double linked list. Yes, Prabal, what doubt you have about feedback form?
Sir, that subject HST, we don't have any teacher, so I have written in the syllabus code form that we have not started syllabus yet. So what should
No
I
problem,
do?
no problem. No problem. Actually, the direct second year students will join to you and it will be allocated
Uh,
again after.
shall I
So the
shall
feedback,
I resubmit it?
no problem. Actually, that form of that subject which was pending will be ignored. But you can give just what you can say average marks, and we will put these two subjects again in the feedback because currently they will these two subjects will be ignored. Okay,
O-
so all other
Okay, sir.
subjects will be considered.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Now, as far as morning session is been concerned, we have that program for circular linked list. So first we will analyze the structure. Since it is English, the class is not going to change. So what is going to change over here is the statement in the print statement and the navigation. Over here you can observe that the first statement we have added is a temporary node which is storing the head node information. Okay. Then if head arrow next not equal to temp, that means if it reaches to the end node, then end arrow next is surely become head, and that will be a terminating condition. So this terminating condition is to be notified. So you have to note that when there is circular single linked list, the terminating condition is end arrow next equal to head. Okay, so it is simply temp is nothing but head. We have stored the head where node information into the variable temp. Okay, everyone getting this print statement? First change we have made in singular circular single linked list. Then in search node also we have made this change. So over here I am highlighting the changes what has been made in the search criteria. Now adding the node. So one more information is added after creating the head node. So head is equal to the temporary node T, end is equal to the head node, and end arrow next is equal to head. So this statement is specifically added. Instead of null, we have pointed the end node to the head node. Now this paragraph was true if your head node doesn't exist. If the head node doesn't exist. If the head node doesn't exist. Now if the node exists, then we are going to append the contents. So after appending the node to the list, naturally your end is going to increment. So over here we have increment the end with the temporary node T. So end arrow next is equal to T and end is equal to T. So now T is the last node and end arrow next is head. So this statement is very important, which will make your linked list into a ring. Okay, so to create a linked list into a ring, the end arrow next must always point to head, else all the program is quite similar. Okay, so after and adding after will not make changes to it. Adding head, yes, we have to add these statements over here, and arrow next is equal to head, and similarly when we add it, append it to the end of the list, so you can see the statements are being added. Now let us run the program and check whether it is going to run for us. So you see it is appending the contents 1 2 3 4 is been added. Then we insert some another element 100 and after 3. So what is the program about? You can see over here in the main program. So main we have created the head node, then end node, temporary nodes, second, third, fourth and fifth node. So total there are 5 nodes. Okay, so this were as per as declaration section has been concerned. Then we allocate memory, that is RAM, to the program. So it is head node is allocated the memory, then second node is allocated with the memory, third, fourth and so on. So even end node is been allocated a memory. For instance, we always store the head information into a temporary variable. So this is very much important that when you use pointers, it is expected that you store the head nodes that you store the head node information. One second, I'll just come to you. Yes, sir.
So the
Okay. So over here we have created the nodes, and here memory allocation has been done. Now head arrow data, we have assigned the value to the first node and said that head arrow next is equal to null. Now one more thing, if it is doubly linked list, then what you have to do, we have to set circular linked list, we have to set it to the head again. So just make a simple change, head arrow next is equal to head. So this is will make itself into loop and it will not move further. Okay, then end is equal to head. So naturally now end arrow next is head. So once we add the nodes, we will add the head element first, then we add the second element, then we add the third element. So again some modifications is there. So second arrow next is null over there. So instead of null, you can make it as head. Finally, this can be also be head. So simple changes are there. Wherever there is null, you have to point it to head. So moving to fourth part and the fifth part also, we put it as head. So after fifth part, we have appended the contents, and let us check what are the results. So when we are appending the new contents over here, just make a simple change that fifth node is appended after 3. So after the third, fifth node is appended. So we have to check whether this is going to achieve for us, and let us run the program. So you can observe that after 3, the fifth node is added, that is 100. Yes, participants, everyone getting? Okay. So now suppose we want to search for the head from the list. We want to search for 100. So you can use the search list and it will work for us. So simple changes we have to make when you are working with circular linked list. All the functions which were given yesterday are same. Only thing is that one simple change, that is end arrow next must point to head. Everyone getting the simple changes for circular linked list or any difficulty? Don't worry about the code. Code was already given to you yesterday. You can see that this class doesn't change. So if class changes, then the entire code changes. So what is changing over here? Only one statement, that is, I'll write it over here again, end arrow next is equal to head. So this statement has to be updated whenever you are working with a circular linked list, and whenever you are using traversing, you have to check for this, that is h arrow next not equal to temp. So it simply means temp is nothing but your head node. Okay, so if you understand, we put this in an assignment. Code is already given to you, so we'll not give this code to you. You try it yourself, and during debugging, you may occur some important changes and understand the concept of circular linked list. Now let us move to some advanced part where we will talk about doubly linked list. I'll share the screen in a minute. Okay, so here is the code for doubly linked list. So most important, you observe the part. 1 second. Yes, participants, able to view the screen? Okay, so I highlight the main changes. Look at the class. We have the data member, that is int data. Then we have two pointers. One is the next pointer and another is the previous pointer. So if you remember in the morning session, we have seen that in doubly linked list, you can print in forward order and you can print in reverse order also. That means you can traverse the linked list in forward direction as well as reverse direction. So we can say the starting point is the head node for printing purpose. So let us see this print lister. So the starting point is the head node and the ending point is the end node. Okay, and if you want to print it in ascending order, so by default we have created a flag as 1. So when the flag is 1, you are going to print it in ascending order, and if the flag is not 1, that means 0, you are going to print it in reverse order, that is from end to the head node. So how to do that is simply we have to check the flag. So if flag is equal to 1, we are going to use the forward method, that is h not equal to null, and print the data h arrow data. Second line, h is equal to h arrow next. So only two line code, one is to print and another is to traverse. H is equal to h arrow next. Anybody difficulty in understand the two line code? Yes, participants. So what is this h? H means head node. See over here, node star h. So over here, h means head node, and node star e means end node. Okay. So over here, we are flag is equal to 1. So we are moving in forward direction. So we are using the next pointer. So it will move from head node to the end node. Now going into reverse. So that means your flag is not 1. Yes, the flag will be 0 or something else, but it will not be 1. So if it is 0, now h is equal to e. That means the starting point is e, that is end node. So over here we can say it is end node, and we put a statement h not equal to null, and H arrow data not equal to 0. Now we just print the data, same format, H arrow data, but instead of moving to the next pointer, we are now using the reverse pointer, that is previous. H is equal to H arrow previous. So over here, if we use a doubly linked list, we can move in forward direction using the previous pointer, and we can move in the reverse direction using the previous pointer. Yes, participants understood the use of next and previous pointer, or any question? Now, as far as searching is concerned, we have not made any changes over there. It is simply a forward search. Deleting a node, yes, we have added only one parameter, that is add arrow previous is equal to null. So you can check the three conditions. First is how to delete the head node. So linked list is already there. We are deleting the head node itself. So it will make that head arrow previous will be null. One simple change. So we have updated it over here. If we delete the end node, what is going to change is nothing but your end arrow next must be null. So end arrow previous is already to be connected with the list. Now adding node. So node can be appended to the list. So very important task, when we add any head node, that is T, we have to use two statements. So whenever you create a node, you use two statement, that is end arrow next is null, and since it is a head node, we write end arrow previous is also null. If you draw the diagram of a node, it will resemble something like this. I'll put it in a page so you'll be able to understand. Yes, participants able to view the window? Okay, so we'll see how to create a node and represent it. I put the first data variable, and then we have two pointers. One is the previous pointer is there and another is next pointer. So assume that there are three data members. I put the first over here, it is data. Second, we have the previous pointer. So next, let it be next pointer. Next pointer. Then over here, we will update the previous pointer. Now, whenever you create a particular data member, the previous pointer must be set to null. So we put it the next the value of that to be a null. And similarly, if you use the next pointers, you have to represent it in the form of, again, this is null. Okay, so if you have confusion with respect to the directions, you can make a simple changes over here. put this to the left hand side, and this values will be naturally is set to null. So this is the diagrammatic representation of a particular node, and let us see how the interconnection is be done. So I'll just replicate the contents. So this is your second node, suppose. So what is going to change over here? Let's say this is your head node. So I make it as head, and let us these be the temporary node TMP which you have created. Now for interconnection purpose, we have to just update the simple values. Now instead of add arrow next is equal to null, add arrow next will be nothing but temp. So it simply means your next pointer from head will connect to the temporary node, and temporary is previous value. So over here there was a previous node, so this will point to nothing but your head node. Now when you put the previous node as head, it will connect it to the head node in this way. So in doubly circular linked list, this temp becomes now the end node. So only thing is we have to update the end node is nothing but end is equal to temp. So automatically you can find that end arrow next is nothing but null, and when you observe head arrow previous is nothing but null. So this diagrammatic, if you learn with diagrams, you will able to understand how to code it. Yes, participants able to understand the diagrammatic representation of doubly linked list? So now let us see the code itself. Now we have drawn the diagram. So the code is about adding nodes. Hello everyone. Okay. So the code is about adding nodes. So we need at least two nodes. One is the head node, end node, and T is the new node which is going to be added to the list. So we assume that there is no head node initially. So it simply means head is equal to null. That means there is no linked list, and therefore and are you able to hear? Yes, participants?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Are you able to hear clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when your head node is does not exist, that means T will become the head node. So over here we said head is equal to T, and your end will also become the head node, and we set the two parameters. End arrow next is null, end arrow previous is equal to null. Alternatively, you can write T arrow next is null or T arrow previous is equal to null, whatever, it will work. Now assume the second condition, that if the head node is there and you have to append new node to the list, so it will go into the else condition. So in else condition, it will create a temporary store for end node, because we are going to increase the size of the linked list at the tail. So your end is going to change. So how to change it? End arrow next is equal to t. So previous value of end was head, and head arrow next is now equal to the new node t, and t arrow previous was assigned to the end. So it will connect it to the previous old end, that is head node, and finally we move the position of the end node to t and set end arrow next is equal to t. So again we have to take care, we have to use two pointers. One is the next pointer, another is the previous pointer, and we have to remember that the next arrow end arrow next will always be null, and head arrow previous will always be null in creating the doubly linked list. Yes, participants able to understand the adding of nodes into doubly linked list. Now, if you want to add a node in between after a particular data match, for example, we are appending over here numbers such as 1, 2, 3, 4, you can see, and if you want to add a node after node number 3, so at position 4 you can append it or so on. So in between 3 and 4 if you want to append, then what to do? So this is after. So first we will use the navigation operator. That means we will traverse between the linked list to find the data. So we check h arrow data is equal to data. So data is nothing but the input. So if we find the data, then we store it into a temporary variable. Temp is equal to h arrow next. Okay, so next variable has been temporary stored, that is over here. H arrow next is equal to t. Then t arrow previous is equal to h. So we have connected it to the previous value of the head node, and we have temporarily stored the information of the next pointer into TMP and update it. So t arrow next is equal to temp. So how this works, let us see it in diagrammatic approach. Let us consider the first node. So first node is this, and let us say this is your second node, and this is the third node which is going to append. So let us label it first. So I put this node number 1, second is node number 2. For better understanding, I make it 5, and another node is over here which is going to add is 4. Now in the beginning, assume that there is a next pointer from 1 to 5, and next pointer over here is the terminating, that is the end. So we can say that after this there was a null pointer. So this was the linked list, and node number 4 is to be inserted. So we say is to be inserted in between 1 and 5. How to do this? So what is the first step? So I'll write the first steps over here. We have to connect it to the pointer number 1. So we say search for 1. search for data equal to 1. So when you search for data equal to 1, you will find it at position say h. So this is the position h. इतना समझ रहा है क्या? Yes, participants. Okay. Then second instruction, first instruction was search for data equal to 1, and we found h. Then we set h arrow next is equal to t. So this t is the node which you are going to insert. So this form is nothing but t. So your pointer now changes. The next pointer is updated, and this position is set free. Everyone getting this?
Yes.
Okay. Now my question is, if I use the connection from 1 to 5, can I connect node T to node 5? Yes, participants?
No.
Since we have lost the connection from node 1 to node 5, we cannot connect node number T to node 5, that is 4 and 5. So before issuing h arrow next is equal to t, we have to save the previous connection over here. So I'll just revert the changes. Yes, it was this, and before issuing h arrow next is equal to t, we will issue one instruction. I'll put tmp is equal to end. So this end node is nothing but your 5. Everyone getting this? So I have stored tmp is equal to end, and then I issue h arrow next is equal to t. So when we issue h arrow next is equal to t, you connect it like this, and now this link does not exist. Yes, participants, understood this much? Now the next statement is very simple. After this, the third statement will issue, that is t arrow next is equal to tmp, and see what happens now. Because tmp was end. So this is how intermediate nodes are being added. Now let us think that 5 is not an AND node. So this condition was true when 5 is an AND node. Now let us make a simple change to this and see the third condition. Now this AND node is been modified. AND node does not exist, and I have one more node over here. So instead of 5, we also have one more element to be inserted. So in between, suppose this is element number 7, which is there, and element 7 is now add node. This is element 7, who is the AND node. So now if this condition is there, what I am trying to say, temp equal to AND will not work. Do you agree?
Yes, sir. We will do temp is equal to head arrow next.
So instead of this, we have to issue over here TMP is equal to TMP arrow.
Sir, head arrow next.
H head arrow next. H. 1 second. H arrow next. So your temporary variable will store 5 over there, and after that you can issue H arrow next is equal to T, and T arrow next is equal to 10. So this building of logic is very important when inserting in between nodes are been concerned. Okay, so same logic we are going to prefer in our code. So that were as far as adding the nodes. So this was after. So see over here, we have stored it into H arrow next. So you can observe this H arrow next is been saved in temporary variable. Everyone getting this? Okay, then H arrow next is equal to T. So you can see that we have discussed this also. H arrow next is equal to T. And since we are using 2 pointers, so T arrow previous is equal to H. And naturally T arrow next is equal to 10. So we have studied this also. T arrow next is equal to 10. So once you design, you will be able to code easily and understand the code also. Yes, participants able to understand the diagrammatic approach of the code. So first draw the diagram, understand the scenario, and you can easily code your design into coding. So this was after. Now simulate similarly on deletion after that. What will be the case if you want to delete a node after a data? So you can take this scenario. Suppose you want to delete 4, which is after 1. So what we'll do, again save this T. Now H will be issued something like this. I will issue a simple command, H arrow next is equal to, take a second, H arrow next, arrow next. So when you issue this H arrow next, it will point to 5 directly.
I am sorry.
One second. Good meeting, madam.
Okay.
Control room kore. Okay. So this statement H arrow next is equal to, again sorry, it is supposed to be H arrow next head name. So it should be H arrow next, arrow next. So then it will be point to 5 directly. And this T can be easily removed by the keyword delete T. So 4 will be deleted. So intermediate node deletion is also very easy. So over here we have the statement, you can check. H arrow next, arrow next. So this is for deletion purpose. Yes, participants able to understand the design to coding concept? Okay. So now, as far as the main function is been concerned, we have not made any changes to it. There are no changes in the main function. So let us run the program and check whether it works for us. So we have appended 1, 2, 3 over here. We have inserted 100. So you can see 100 inserted between 3 and 4. So you can observe that in the main program, after declaration or insertion of data 1, 2, 3 and 4, then in the middle we have inserted the value. So we have inserted after fifth node after 3. So the value of fifth node is nothing but 100. You can see over here in the output, after the third node 100 is been inserted.
Hello, sir.
Participants, yes, any doubt?
Sir, isn't it better to create a function to directly add nodes or anything like every time we have to specify memory?
What we are doing, we are passing the parameters to it and a head node. So when you use the local variables, the memory is being saved, and when you use the global variables, there is the memory usage is very much high because your program does not release memory. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as this keywords are being concerned, and after then a print list is been concerned, we are just using and utilizing the ready-made functions. तो इसका एडवांटेज ये है कि once you design the module and call the function, it has the flexibility to adapt any kind of input. So your head node can be anything, your end node can be anything. So even though if you want to print the middle sublist of the linked list, it is possible using the print list concept. Okay, so you can use the print list to its flexibility, and you can design your own search criteria. Okay, so if you observe, apart from the main program, I'll just close the main program. You can see all these are functions. So we have created functions. So this is a different function which is not a part of the class. So add node is a function. Let us see how many functions we have created. So we'll understand the ADT. Now see, first we have created the class, then we have created the print function, then we have created the search list, we have the delete operations. So we have the 3 parameters in delete. First is delete the head, delete the end node, and delete after. Now you can combine all these 3 functions into one. Did you want to see that?
Yes, sir.
Yes. But this will give you more flexibility to understand how to delete the head node, to understand how to delete the end node, and how to delete the intermediate node. You can combine these 3 functions by calling into one.
Sir, is it better
As
to do it?
Yes.
Sir, is it better to do it individually, like delete head and then after, or creating a new function which does all these things together?
Say it is better to do it on all, but the code becomes unreadable. What will happen? You will not able to understand the code easily. Now, if you observe the head node, delete head, you can see the code is very small. So learners can grasp this very easily. And if you use multiple if and else, that will add to the complexity of the program. So as what we can say, optimization of code flexibility, we can say you can create small functions, or you can just copy this code wherever you want to delete the head node. Okay, so this ADT helps us. So only you can see we have created head, delete end, add node, add after, and add head. So you can combine it into two functions. One is delete function and another is add function or insertion function. That is also okay. Yes, everyone getting this? Okay. So we first divide the program into small functions and then integrate the functions to make the broader view. So there is top down approach and bottom up design of the program. So if you design the program with a coarse grain program development, so that is also good, but complexity is there. Okay, so as a learner, you should split your program into smaller functions, understand each function, and then you can use the coarse grain approach. So this is nothing but a little finer grain approach. You have divided the functions into more finer details. Is it okay? Yes, participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now I'll share the code for doubly linked list with you. The first is the class we have sent to you. Then second is your print list function. Yes, it has updated properly. So in print list, this flag is most important. This flag will give you ascending order and descending order sorting technique. Then we have search list. So we have given you search list and delete head node. So delete head node has been updated. Then delete the end node. Next program is about adding nodes to the linked list. So small programs makes you easy to learn. Once you develop the outer view of the program, then it will be more flexible.
ते पुराने फीडबॅक कम भरायचं आहे. 2 युनिट वरचा फीडबॅक आहे ना.
एकच मिनिट. Okay. So we have the add after function. It is updated. Add node is updated. Then delete after. And after that is add the head. Adding the head node. Okay. And finally the main program. So main program is little bigger. Let us see whether it fits in the chat box. it is up till add arrow data is equal to 1 and link f. So we have to just span it further. Data is equal to 1 and add node. Okay, so just a minute, the connection has there was some network error, so the connection will be reset in just a minute. Okay, the few line of code that will be, I'll put it in the chat box directly, that is missing. So after data 1 we are missing the contents, so you can add the same data, that is use a second approach, that is second near the symbols are quite missing actually. So I'll just narrate it. Second arrow data, so you can write second arrow data is equal to 2, and next is second arrow next is equal to null, and finally you can add the last line, add after adding the second content, use this last line and paste it over here. So you can add the second node over here with this code. Similarly, you can add third node, fourth node and fifth node. And one more important line over here is, after doing everything, just give print, just type print this and give the parameters to it, such as head, comma, end, comma, and if you want it in reverse order, give 0 instead of 1 and give enter. So the last line after this is nothing but return statement, return 0, and after that you can put a semicolon. After print list, you give three parameters to it, head and zero. So your list will be printed in reverse order. If you want to print the list in ascending order, just pass the parameter as head and end. So this were as far as your doubly linked list is in concern. In more detail, we will create dynamic nodes in the next session, and we'll see how this dynamic approach of creating nodes will enhance your programming skill, where the runtime data will create runtime nodes. So these were as far as static nodes are being created. So what will happen if the data is updated at runtime? How memory is allocated in runtime? So currently, this was just adding one nodes at a time, but in practice, we have to work with thousands of nodes which are interconnected, and then it creates the issue of sequential access. So when we have created thousands of nodes, and within the thousands of nodes, the issue is how to search faster within such dynamic data. If we are using sequential search, then this will not going to work. So which are the different strategies to override the approach of sequential search will be discussed in this topic and in theory itself. Yes, participants, any questions? So I have given you the code in the for practicing purpose. Now for attendance, your code is CO hyphen question number 4, and it is 13. So your attendance code is CO0413. Yes, participants, if there are no questions, try the code, try to modify it. Always use diagrammatic approach to study each and every logic of the linked list. So you will not need to develop the code. The code will be automatically generated from your brain if the logic of setting up the insertion and deletion operation is clear to you. So I hope everybody able to understand. If there is any questions, feel free to ask in the upcoming session. Thank you. Thank you very much.